Hi ladies, it's Wednesday Facebook Live with me, Stephanie, your curator, your coach of the Women That Don't Drink group, a group for ladies that want to change their relationship with alcohol. Lots and lots of new ladies again this week, which is amazing. I love that there's so many women out there that want to have a go at taking a break from booze. It's brilliant. So, if you want to know more about me, check out ichange21.com. If you're new, please watch the welcome video. It'll tell you everything you need to know and we'll signpost you to different places. If you need a little bit more extra help, just give me a shout. I might be able to signpost you. I've got an online program and I also provide one-to-one coaching. Hi Lise, I hope you're okay. So I support women who want to reduce or come off alcohol. I can support women to do that, but also I provide coaching to women that have stopped drinking but maybe their life isn't working out very well. So there's a couple of different options there. Anyway, let's go on to tonight's video. So I wanted to have a little bit of a conversation about language and words and meaning. And it really is very individual. I'm going to give you some examples, but they're examples that work for me. So it's thinking about what those words mean for you. So something that can happen is certain words can have very strong negative connotations to them. Not for everyone, they'll mean different things for different people. So just to give you an example, alcoholic can be quite negative for quite a lot of people, and it's not a massive fan of labels, as which you, if you get used to me, you'll know that. You know, alcoholic can sum up lots of things really, and I don't think it really tells us what we mean by that. So I'm not a massive fan of the word alcoholic, but if it works for you, then use it. Also, things like sober, you know, sober to other people can mean, you know, that their life's boring, those type of things. So that's what I mean by words and meaning. Now, use the words that work for you, that you find motivating, that you find positive. Now, historically, we have this language attached to addiction. I'm going to use another word again. I use addiction and habit for lots of different reasons. So addiction can be quite negative for people, whereas habit not so negative. So I use both words so that people know what I'm talking about. Essentially what I'm talking about is you're doing something that's causing you a problem and you want to make a change, and however what support you use in the middle doesn't matter, that you have some support and you make the change. So historically, when we think about addiction, there are lots of words attached to that actually are quite old-fashioned and outdated, and can be very negative for some people, like alcoholic and sober, like I was talking about. But for some people, they will work. So I want you to have a think about the words that you're using for yourself and your own journey. So take, for instance, the relapse. I talk about slips and blips. Relapse, again, quite an old-fashioned word that can have negative connotations. Slips and blips sound slightly different. But also the day one thing. So maybe you haven't had a drink for a couple of weeks, and then you have a couple of drinks and you feel quite negative about that, and you say, oh, I've had a relapse and I'm back to day one. Now, you might feel okay about that, but the majority of people will find that quite negative. So what I want you to do is reframe that. This is why I'm giving you examples of words and language and meaning. So I want you to reframe it. So if that whole process for you of not drinking, having a blip or a slip, starting again, feels really negative, then I want you to reframe it. Hi Caroline, nice to see you. So have a think about, so maybe you've had a goal of not drinking for a month, 3 months, a year. Maybe your goal is abstinence. It doesn't matter what your goal is. I think it's, we've been talking it quite a lot actually. I think it's Lilani. I don't know if I'm pronouncing your name properly, or tell me if I'm not. She quite early on posted a picture of a calendar. And you can do this yourself. You can use any calendar. And I think someone said a sober app does this for you as well. I don't know. I haven't used any apps. Sorry, so I can't recommend any. But essentially what we're talking about is we're talking about a calendar. So something that's visual that you can see. Most people find visual things quite motivating. So say you've got a calendar for the last month and it's got the days mapped out clearly. Hi Karen, nice to see you. And you tick. What Lilani did is she ticked the days that she was alcohol free, she ticked the days that she'd had a drink, and she ticked the days where she'd struggled, like really struggled, it had been a difficult day, and she'd used different colours for each of those different types of day. Now, I think it was 3 months that she showed, but it doesn't matter, it could be a month. And she could see, hi Faith, and she could see very clearly that for the majority of that time she had been alcohol free. So rather than saying I did 2 weeks and then I had a slip up and I had to go back to day one and feeling negative about that, could you go to recording your days in such a way where you can see it like that? So you can see that actually for the majority of the time you have been alcohol free. Now that feels different. So I hope you understand what I'm trying to say here around the reframe. So if you're someone that focuses on the struggle and the blips and the day one, I want you to stop doing that, and I want you to use some sort of visual calendar and sort of step back from it so that you can see your success as a whole and the majority of the time where you've been alcohol free. Another person that's been very good in how she explained this is Sophia, and I'm sure she won't mind posting it again, is where she talked about her journey for the last 3 years. I know she won't mind me saying. And where she'd said in the first year how many alcohol-free days she'd done the second year and the third year, and actually she'd increased her alcohol-free days each year quite significantly. So what she could do is she could see that her persistence and that she was improving and that there was success there, and then after time you build on that and you feel good about that. So the whole point, what I'm trying to say is most of you are doing really, really well. You really are. The fact that you're here and you want to change and you want a healthier life is a great start. You're here and you're in the right place. So let's make it work for you. Let's make it a more enjoyable experience. Let's focus on the positives. Let's focus on the success rather than those odd days where it really doesn't work. Because what we can do, and it's human nature, and God knows why, I wish I knew why, it's like it's easier for us to be negative than it is to be positive. So it's like a muscle. So I want you to start practicing reframing stuff so it feels positive. So be careful about what words you use for your journey, and the more you do that, the easier it gets, and you can use it for different areas of your life. Okay, I hope that makes sense, because ultimately what I want you to do is feel good and feel motivated and build on your success, because most of you are having some really big successes, but then you're giving yourself a hard time about those momentary blips because you're focusing on the negative, and maybe you're using words that feel negative for you. Okay, so if alcoholic feels negative for you, don't use it. If addiction feels negative for you, don't use it. I use alcohol free. I use a habit. I'm not saying that I don't use addiction, I do. Sober, we use alcohol free rather than that. So pay attention to the words, and do they feel negative? Relapse, if that feels negative, don't say that. Say blip, say slip, and focus on building your alcohol free days. Remember, any alcohol free day is a good day. Okay, so few things coming up. We have the retreat in October, which is near Bath. A few spaces left for ladies. I'm super excited that Gwen Warren is going to be our nutritionist for the group, but also she's coming along to the retreat, which is just amazing. Can pick her brains about food, which will be brilliant. We also have the 30-day no sugar challenge starting on Friday, which I'm looking forward to in a weird sort of way. I don't know if I am or if I'm not. I need to do it anyway, so it's good. It's good. And you always feel amazing when you do it, so it's brilliant. We start on the 1st of September. Now, this is only for ladies that really have the alcohol thing cracked, because if you're struggling with alcohol, then you need to do whatever you need to do. Just focus on the alcohol. There will be other 30-day no sugar challenges, don't worry. And we're also starting another 7-day alcohol-free challenge next week, which really helps to get people started. So if you're in the early days, it helps to keep you motivated, but it helps to kickstart you as well. But remember, ladies, if you're a daily dependent drinker, you must reduce slowly and seek medical advice and not just stop. Okay, I think that's me for now. Remember, if you've got any questions, just ask. Lots of amazing ladies in the group, and I will see you soon. Thank you. Bye.